In 1982, a man named Roy Anderson had a dream, a vivid, unsettling dream. He saw a plane, its make and model clear in his mind, even the flight number etched into his memory. The plane was destined for disaster, crashing into the murky waters of the Florida Everglades. Just days later, a plane matching his exact description plummeted into those very swamps. Was it a coincidence, or something more? A glimpse into the future, perhaps, or the mind's strange way of weaving patterns from chaos? This story, like so many others, invites us to wonder, can some among us truly see what lies ahead? Welcome, dear listener. Today, we gather to explore a question as old as humanity itself. Are prophets like Nostradamus and others who claim to see beyond the veil of time real? Do their visions hold truth, or are they mere echoes of our hopes and fears? We will journey through this mystery together, guided by stories, evidence, and the quiet curiosity that stirs within us all. Such tales are not new. Throughout history, there have been those who claimed to peer into the future. Prophets, seers, visionaries. Some are revered, their words studied for centuries. Others are dismissed as charlatans or madmen. Today, we will sit with 5 such figures, each a thread in the tapestry of prophetic thought. We will explore their visions, the evidence for and against their claims, and the questions they leave us with. Let us begin with one of the most famous, Nostradamus. Michel de Nostradamus, known to the world as Nostradamus, was born in 1503 in France. A physician, astrologer, and poet, he became famous for his quatrains, cryptic 4-line poems that many believe foretell future events. His most famous work, Les Prophéties, contains 942 such verses, and over the centuries, interpreters have linked them to everything from the rise of Napoleon to the horrors of the world wars. But are these connections real, or are they the product of wishful thinking? Take, for instance, one of his most cited quatrains. From the sky will come a great king of terror. The sky will burn at 45 degrees. Some say this predicted the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, with 45 degrees referring to the latitude. Others argue it's vague enough to fit many events. Nostradamus's defenders point to the sheer number of seemingly accurate predictions, while skeptics remind us that his verses are so ambiguous they can be twisted to fit almost anything. After all, if you predict enough, something is bound to stick. Yet, his name endures, a testament to our fascination with the future. From the past, we turn to a more recent figure, Baba Vanga, a blind Bulgarian mystic who gained fame for her alleged predictions about wars, natural disasters, and world events. Born in 1911, she lost her sight at a young age, but claimed to have gained the ability to see the future. Her followers believe she foresaw the 9/11 attacks, the rise of ISIS, and even the COVID-19 pandemic. In January and February of 2025, interest in her predictions surged as people sought answers in uncertain times. But was Baba Vanga truly prophetic? Her supporters point to her eerily accurate descriptions, like her vision of a huge wave covering a coastline, which some link to the 2004 tsunami. Yet, critics argue that many of her predictions were either too vague or only confirmed after the fact, when events could be retrofitted to her words. Moreover, some of her boldest claims, like a 2016 prediction that Europe would cease to exist, never came to pass. Still, her legacy persists, a reminder of how desperately we seek to make sense of chaos. Our next figure is Edgar Cayce, often called the Sleeping Prophet. Born in 1877 in Kentucky, Cayce would enter trance-like states and offer insights on everything from health to spirituality. His predictions about climate shifts and spiritual awakenings have drawn renewed interest, especially in March 2025, as the world grappled with environmental changes. Cayce's most famous prediction? The shifting of the Earth's poles, which he said would lead to dramatic climate changes. Some see echoes of this in today's rising sea levels and erratic weather. He also spoke of a new age of spiritual enlightenment, a vision that resonates with many today. But skeptics point out that Cayce's predictions were often wrong, like his claim that China would become the cradle of Christianity by 1968. Was he tapping into something beyond, or was he simply a man with a vivid imagination? The answer, perhaps, lies somewhere in between. Now we turn to a contemporary figure, Athos Salomé, a Brazilian psychic whose predictions and media appearances have captivated audiences. In May and June of 2025, his name trended as people sought his insights on global events. Salomé claims to have foreseen the COVID-19 pandemic, the death of Queen Elizabeth II, and even natural disasters like the California wildfires. Salomé's supporters argue that his accuracy is too consistent to be mere chance. For instance, he predicted the 2020 pandemic months before it began, and his warning of a great fire in the West seemed to foreshadow the devastating blazes in Los Angeles. Yet critics remind us that psychics often make many predictions, and we tend to remember only the hits while forgetting the misses. Salomé himself has said that his visions are not always clear, leaving room for interpretation. Is he a true seer, or a product of our modern thirst for certainty? Only time will tell. Next, we meet Jonathan Cahn, a Messianic Jewish pastor whose books on biblical prophecy have sparked intense discussion. In April 2025, his name surged in searches as people turned to his interpretations of ancient scriptures. Cahn argues that events like 9/11 and the 2008 financial crisis were foretold in the Bible, and that America is on a path of judgment unless it repents. Cahn's followers see him as a modern-day prophet, drawing parallels between biblical Israel and contemporary America. His book, The Harbinger, became a bestseller, with many convinced that his warnings are divinely inspired. However, scholars and theologians have criticized his methods, arguing that he cherry-picks verses and ignores historical context. They say his prophecies are less about foresight and more about hindsight, fitting events to scripture after the fact. Still, his influence is undeniable, a testament to the enduring power of prophetic narratives. Finally, we turn to Clement, a South African prophet whose posthumous predictions continue to resonate within prophetic communities. Though he passed away in 2016, his words are still studied and debated, with steady interest throughout 2025. Clement claimed to have foreseen events like the election of Donald Trump and the rise of new technologies. Clement's supporters point to his prediction of a nation that will come very subtly with a new kind of weapon, as a foreshadowing of cyber warfare. They also highlight his vision of two presidents during a time of crisis, which some link to the contested 2020 U.S. election. Yet, like others, Clement made many predictions that never materialized, such as a prophecy that Osama bin Laden would be captured in 2006. He was killed in 2011. Was Clement truly prophetic? Or was he simply a charismatic speaker with a knack for tapping into the zeitgeist? The answer, as always, is elusive. And now, as a final thought, let us consider another figure, Roy Tatsuki, a lesser-known but intriguing name in the world of prophecy. In early 2025, Tatsuki claimed to have foreseen a major earthquake in Japan, specifically on July 5, 2025. As the date approached, interest in his prediction grew, with many wondering if this would be yet another eerie coincidence or a genuine glimpse into the future.
On August 8, 2024, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Japan, causing significant damage, but thankfully no loss of life. Was Tatsuki's prediction a lucky guess, or did he truly see what was to come? Some say it's easy to predict earthquakes in a seismically active region like Japan, while others believe his accuracy is too precise to dismiss. What do you think, dear listener? Do you believe in such predictions, or do you see them as mere chance?
And so we have sat with these figures: Roy Anderson, Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, Edgar Cayce, Athos Salomé, Jonathan Cahn, Clement, and Roy Tatsuki, each offering a glimpse into the future, each surrounded by mystery and debate. We began with Roy Anderson's dream, a single story that echoes the larger question: can we truly see beyond the present? The evidence, as you've heard, is mixed. Some predictions seem uncanny, others vague or outright wrong. Yet, the allure of prophecy remains, a testament to our desire to understand what lies ahead. Perhaps the truth is not in whether these prophets are real, but in what their stories reveal about us. We are creatures of hope and fear, forever seeking patterns in the chaos, meaning in the unknown. Whether through ancient quatrains or modern visions, we reach for something beyond ourselves, something that whispers of a future we cannot yet touch. So, dear listener, I leave you with this. What do you believe? Are these prophets guides to tomorrow or mirrors of our own longing? The answer, like the future itself, is yours to discover. Like, subscribe, and drop your reflections in the comments. See you next time for another big question.